Hello and welcome back to the Yoga Life channel. Today we are going to talk about the key to self-love. Obviously, self-love is one of the biggest topic in this whole coaching and self-development realm, and there's probably no one out there who has the one secret that's going to solve everything. But what I want to share with you today is one secret and one key point for me that's made all the difference in my own self-love journey. And I can tell you now, it's not bubble baths and pampering myself with like fancy spa weekends. It's also not going on shopping sprees and dressing myself up all nicely. And it's also not really having anything in particular. What it is being fully committed to myself and doing whatever it takes to make sure that I'm really looked after and give to myself what I truly need and what's truly good for me. And I can give you a spoiler alert here, it's often not really what I want to do and what I feel like in the moment. Basically what it is about becoming my own responsible, loving, caring parent. This whole reparenting thing, I think, is a bit of a fad out there at the moment, but there's really something to it. Because when it comes down to it, a loving parent will not always give us what it is that we really want, what is fun, what sounds good in the moment, but will give us what we truly need and what's good for us. So what is this like? What can this look like specifically? It's basically two sentences that I can tell myself and that I can use to measure what's good for me and what's the key to my self-love. It is, I love myself so much that I will, and then whatever behavior I'm allowing myself to do or forcing myself to do, and I love myself so much that I will never again, or that I won't do something else. So what can that look like? For example, I love myself so much that I will build savings to look after myself in old age, to have my own house, to have my own wealth strategy, instead of going and splurging and spending money on stuff that I don't actually really need, even though that might feel good in the moment. I will love myself so much that I'll eat healthily and take time to cook a proper meal, go shopping and buy good whole live food, in my case vegetarian, over getting takeout every day. And yes, sometimes I love myself enough to get takeout when I'm so tired that I absolutely can't commit to cooking, but generally I will really look after myself with fresh foods. I love myself so much that I will invest in myself, that I will develop my skills, and that I will make a really strong attempt to be all that I can be and fully tap into my potential, which means that I love myself so much that I won't spend every night in front of Netflix binging on series, even though that might feel really good. And I, of course, do that every now and then as well. It just can't become a habit like it was in my 20s. When I used to go to uni, I'd work really hard. I'd be traveling Europe as a tour guide, would do lots of study at uni, and then sometimes just stay in bed for 3 or 4 days, indulging in series and eating crappy food. And that's something I love myself enough these days that I won't do that anymore. I love myself enough to be really careful with what kind of people I let into my life. And for example, I love myself enough that I won't allow anyone to do anything to me or to deal with me in a way that takes self-love away and that takes good feelings away. So I will be discerning with the kind of people I let into my life. I love myself enough that I won't allow myself to stay long-term in negative emotions. And again, I've done that in the past, that sometimes I would take months or longer to get over a heartbreak. I will love myself enough that I won't allow that to happen again. If I find myself in a bad place, I will observe it for a while and then I will trace it to the root. Either I can do it myself or I find myself help. Go to the root, solve it for good, and then move on. So it's all about doing the things that are necessary so we can live our best lives. And often the difference is between being an indulging parent for myself and allowing myself to flow into these childlike patterns of giving myself whatever I want, even if it's not good for me, versus being a responsible parent to myself and go like, you know what? put a boundary here. That's not good for you. Just don't do it. And this whole, if you look at children, especially nowadays, we can see quite a bit of that, who are raised in a way where everything is permitted, everything is allowed, you get everything you want, you just throw a little tantrum and we will happily oblige. If you look at those children as they are growing up, and unfortunately there's quite a few of them out there these days, they are not usually very happy people. They might be getting everything materially and they might have permission to do whatever they want, but often they aren't really contributing to society. They're only going with their own whims. They are not really that happy in who they are. They haven't really found their place in life, and they don't really know who they are, I guess. They haven't had to rub against and push back against challenges because all the challenges have been gotten out of the way for them by someone else. How will you grow if you never experience challenge? And how will you step up to be the best you can be if you don't have to challenge yourself in any way? So let's not allow ourselves to become the person who doesn't challenge us and just indulges us, but let's be the person who challenges us to grow, to mature, to show up as the best we can be. Basically, you can always ask yourself, what would true love do right now? What would someone who truly loves me, not just wants to give me whatever I want, but who truly loves me, give me right now? And also, what would they say no to? That's my key to self-love. Be there for yourself and treat yourself with the love and respect that the most loving, most kind, and most supportive parent would do. I'm looking forward to see your comments in the comment section. I guess there will be some people who go like, no, I absolutely don't agree, give yourself whatever you want. And some people who probably have examples of where they have been able to call themselves out on their playing it small and starting doing something different. So please leave a comment in the comment section. And as always, if you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell button if you want notifications when our next videos are coming out. And we're looking forward to seeing you again soon.